Hello friends and welcome back to this YouTube channel. My name is Arseniy Kristenko and today we're going to talk about microgreens. I've made a couple of videos earlier about how did I start a microgreen business and how I usually looking for a client for this type of business. And the thing that I've noticed that people don't really know what is going on here. And let me tell you like this, there are just two ways to know how to swim. You can watch a lot of videos and hopefully start swimming in a couple of days or a couple of weeks and just go to the water, jump there and start swimming. I mean, the second way isn't the best one for sure, but this is how my father was taught by his father. I mean, Russian family is kind of crazy. I know guys, this is for sure. But if you're still watching a lot of videos and you've been doing it for like a couple of weeks or even months and you haven't started your business yet, well, there's something wrong that's happening with you. You might have so much desire inside of you that says, okay, this is the final step and we're ready to make some money. But at the same time, you have so much fear that says you're right. There is something wrong that could happen with this business. And this is why I'd like to share my experience. This is why I want to make a video like this. So hopefully you can understand this business much more better. So this is the things that I wish I knew before I started microgreen business. The very first question that I would ask myself is this something that I really want to do? I mean, are microgreens the best way to make some money? Or, I mean, I just like it because the way how it looks like, because it looks green, because I can't sell anything illegal in this country and microgreens looks very similar to something else and they look green, they're healthy, so this is why I can sell. And I know that a lot of people keep telling you like, you have to have another reason, right? Because money is probably not enough to start something new. But I mean, I wouldn't agree with them because there is something else, of course, but the first reason why we want to start a business because we want to make some money. I mean, we're tired, being broke, we're tired being weak and soft. This is why we want to be more masculine. We want to have this type of energy and bring more money, bring more girls around us and all this stuff. And this is why you need to ask yourself, is this something that will make you excited every time? Because look at my shelves, they look green, they look healthy, everything looks fine, but sometimes I feel bored. Sometimes I feel like, okay, maybe I could do something else. And this is why I call it just a side hustle. I mean, this is not my main business. It doesn't make much money, but at the same time, there are so many people who make like 6 figures per year selling microgreens. And if you love flowers, if you're probably vegetarian or you've been, around the nature the whole time, probably this is what you need. So you need to find another reason, not just money, but something else if you want to start this type of business. Alright guys, the next things that I wish I knew earlier, is this market alright? Because I live in LA, I live very close to downtown, like 10-15 minutes away from downtown Los Angeles. And I would say that when I was driving around looking for new clients, I've been to like 50 different places. It was worth experience. Even I got some yes answer. Even some people were interested in this type of product, which I was trying to sell. Anyway, it was very hard to find even a first client. You know why? Because this area is busy. There are so many cool places in LA area. And of course, if you have enough time, you can just knock the door, start talking to people, and this is what I've done so many times. But sometimes, if you live in the city where everything is busy, especially the cities like LA, New York, Miami, probably it's gonna be a little bit harder to you to find your first client. And of course, it doesn't mean that it's gonna be impossible to find a first client, but that means that there are some guys who do something like you do. So if you live somewhere like me, in a very famous and big city like LA, New York, Miami, Chicago, or something like this, so make sure that you have some places to go to and ask these people if they're really interested in microgreens, because some of them can never heard about it, some of them would be never interested in getting microgreens, or some of them have someone who sell them all this stuff. So you need to do something on this, and I would recommend to go somewhere else instead of your city where you're living right now. So probably you can drive like 20-30 minutes away from the city where you live and find somewhere there. Even this place doesn't look very similar, doesn't look very expensive to those places where you used to be before. And the next one is coming from this point. Who is my client? You need to ask yourself, who is your ideal client? Is this a chef in the restaurant who cooks very healthy, very traditional Asian food, for example? Or is this, some people, probably your neighbor, who is a vegetarian who loves this healthy lifestyle, or maybe you just want to go to a local farmers market and start selling these microgreens in there. Who knows, right? So you need to figure out who is your client. And the more question you ask yourself, the more answers you get. Let's say you have a lot of information about the age group, demography, about there's people hobbies, where these people go, what do they like to get on dinner, and all this kind of question. Make sure that you answer all of them. And this is how you can describe your ideal client. Because if you don't know who is your ideal client, so you're gonna be around all these people trying to sell something that you then don't really need. This is the thing. This is what I've been doing for a very long time, because I was knocking the doors to the restaurants. These people have never seen any microgreens and anything like this. They were very surprised. Of course, I had a little chance to start selling them, some broccoli, radish, but the answer was just no, because I didn't know who is my client. All right, the next one is equipment. You need to know what you're gonna use, because I spent, let's say, at least a couple of weeks, up to a month, looking for different equipment, different commercial light, the shelves, racks, and all of this stuff. And it's all made me so crazy, because I've spent so much time on it. The reason why you need to understand what equipment you're gonna use is very simple. Because if you use, let's say, very cheap equipment, of course you can save some money in the beginning. But let's say your business goes okay, all right? You start making money, you get more clients, so you need to invest more money in your equipment. And you might be thinking, all right, why did I buy all this cheap, dirty stuff? I don't need this anymore. And I spent so much money for the equipment that I'm not gonna use anymore. So come on, let's buy something else which looks better, which just looks professional and stuff like that. In the Russian language, we have this wonderful quote: "Скупой платит дважды." That means that today, if you want to save some money, probably tomorrow you're gonna spend much more, twice as much, 10x as much, and stuff like that. So this is why I spent really much time looking for the best equipment, and I put all the links in the description below. Make sure that you check it, because I put all the links for the equipment that I personally use on Amazon. So guys, I'm just trying to save you so much time. And finally, the main things that I wish I knew early before I start microgreens business is how long can I do it without any payment? This is the hardest question that you need to ask yourself. Let's say you just started it on Monday, right? On Tuesday, you create your portfolio. Let's say you have your Instagram account, you have your website, you order some seeds from some local shops or any website. You're waiting for some orders from Amazon, from the links that I already put in the description below. And so finally on Wednesday or maybe Tuesday, Thursday, you're finally starting selling. But you don't have any sales right now. You have just a few people who are really interested in your product. And let's say for the weekend, probably have just one person who ordered just one, product, which is like $15, $20, and that's it. And for the whole month, you don't have anything yet. And why it's happening like this? There are so many answers. Probably because your product sucks. Probably because your marketing sucks. I mean, you have to find the reason why it's happening. And right now, you might be thinking all right, Ari, stop for a second. How would I do something like this? How would I start a business without any clients, without any payments? I mean, it's kind of crazy. Do I really need it? And this is what I'm saying, guys. There is a huge difference between these people who already successful and who just starting. Because if you see this distance, probably the successful people, they've been everywhere. They've been broke, they've been financially starting from the scratch. And those people on the different side, I mean, they're starting from the scratch, and if something bad happened to them, they just give up. But you don't have to give up, because if you give up today, tomorrow you won't get anything in any business. I mean, businesses don't work like this. You don't gain money as least as tomorrow. If you start something today, it doesn't mean that tomorrow you're gonna be rich, because sometimes it takes decades, sometimes it takes months and years to get very first clients. All right, I'm not talking about decades, but I'm talking about, building very strong and deep relationship between you and your client. You have a couple of different products, you service, something like this. So it takes really much time, years. People spending years to make a huge brand. And if you're starting your personal brand, you need to think about it. You need to find a way how to make it much more better and save as much money as possible and save as much time as possible. This is why at the beginning I put all the links on the description below with the equipment that I usually use. At the same time, I'm making this video to help you because you can save much time. So make sure that you ask yourself, how long can you do it without any payments, without any clients, without any interest? All right, and the most time you can spend doing it for free, the successful you can be in the future. All right, guys, thank you for watching. I hope that you really enjoy watching this content, so put a thumbs up. And also I made 2 different videos about how did I start a maker room business and also how usually looking for the clients. And I'll see you next time, guys. Всем пока.